Hey guys, Digital Lifestyle here. Right, I just wanted to bring you this video up because this is, I'm hoping you guys find it interesting because we are being lied to constantly. We've got a couple of other bits of information coming out with regards to the CFTC and what they're talking about cryptocurrencies and the regulation behind some of what's coming out. But these two pieces of video that I want to play is really important, especially what Biden is saying about what's going on really. And if you flip it around, you know exactly what I'm talking about because what he's saying is not happening is actually happening. We're in it right now.
GDP will be closely watched. A common definition of recession is 2 negative quarters of GDP growth, or at least that's something that's been true in past recessions. When we've seen that, there has usually been a recession. And many economists expect second quarter GDP to be negative. First quarter GDP was negative.
That video didn't really have much talking. It was more to do with the transcript that was being played. But I hope you were able to watch it. If you didn't, I think you should because what they're doing is redefining words. We are in a recession as far as I'm concerned. I think we've been in one for a while. And I think from what I read through what the transcript was saying is that it's being deflected. They will admit at some point that we are. But I think if you had any sense, or I think most people out there realize that we are, and I think it's not just in certain countries. I think it's a global thing. We're having protests going on, etc., etc. But I just wanted to bring you this other piece from Brussels Brand, and I do like what he comes out with. Some of what he says is quite very, very, very true. People may think he's zany, etc., etc. But what he's saying, what he's talking about with this lady here, is very, very, very apt and endemic of what we see going on. So let me play you this.
Those leaves, yeah, through the interconnectedness of the oxygen that is feeding our lungs. I think a big part of forgetting is that we are being made to forget that the finance that's being used to control is a fictitious wealth. Wealth means a state of well-being. When you do breathing and you do yoga, you are in a state of well-being, can't be measured in money. But this first it was turned into capital, now it's turned into finance, and now it's being turned into natural asset corporations, a whole new invention they've created. ESG is old. Now they want to own entire forests, entire rivers, entire land. If you look at what was proposed by Rockefeller Foundation, which is the precursor to Bill Gates, he learned his game from them. Gates is, every time he gets into trouble, he turns to what did the Rockefeller do to save their reputation. Rockefeller Foundation with the Wall Street, one month before the Glasgow Summit on Climate, launched this whole new natural asset companies. Companies that will own the natural assets in terms of the ecological services of nature. So instead of that leaf giving me my breath, that leaf's oxygen will be property, an asset to be traded. And they've created a very complex financial mechanism. And they're actually aiming at having in their hands $4,000 trillion. $4,000 trillion. While people lose their homes, people lose their food, people lose their work, people lose their ability to live. So this, I think this fictitious money and the stories that get told about how it was created with all kinds of invention and innovation. Innovation means only to make new. Basmati or wheat call themselves inventors just because they can claim a patent. A patent is not a reflection of an invention. So much has been stolen and said, we invented it. The neem that controls pests without killing people, we invented it. The seed, my life's dedication to the seed has been, Monsanto, you did not invent the seed. You cannot take a patent on seed. Seed is evolution and continuity and creativity. For billions of years and thousands of years of human farming. And you cannot take what is created by nature, created by people, and say, I invented it.
The reason why I did that, or played those two clips there, one, we're having a redefinition of what a recession is and what we're actually seeing. And two, the actual stealing of lands, the actual stealing of people's, natural right to breathe air being classified and being, it's like they want to tax us to breathe air. They, seeds come from trees, it's like, you could look at a nectarine have seeds, and if you were to grow a seed from that, would they then say, oh, because you grew that tree, you've got to start paying me taxes for growing that tree or something? What the hell's going on? I think what she's making a point of is that this is about the Great Reset and what's going on with the Great Reset and how they're actually going about it. They want to they want to take everything, you own nothing, and just basically become a slave to the system, metaverse and all that kind of stuff. I think that's all involved in it all. So anyway, bit gloomy to start off with. It's not looking good, but it can be better. I think collectively people are starting to say, no, we're not having any more of that crap. We're done. We're seeing protests all across the world now. So maybe people are starting to wake up, you know what I mean? And I think it will take somewhere like America and that, if they don't start doing something right, people are going to start kicking off. So, but that's not what I want to see. I want to see peace. I want to see, you know what I mean? And this blaming of Russia for everything else and this blaming of every other body but yourself is wrong, because we need to go back to a situation where we are creators, we are growing our own foods to a certain extent in our own lands. Do you know what I mean? Grow what's naturally grown in your land. Do you know what I mean? Seasonal, because that's apt for your diet, not this over fertilized crap that doesn't need to be fertilized. What did they use before fertilizers were ever invented? What did they use? Exactly. It was all natural. Anyway, I thought I'd bring you this. This came out, when is it? 19th July. And the top 10 cryptocurrencies in 2020. And this is by Ford's Advisor. .com, and they have named the top 10 cryptocurrencies which they think are have the best market cap in their view, I suppose. Bitcoin, and they give you when it was created, etc., etc. Then you have Ethereum, Tether, USDT, US dollar, USDC, Binance, BNB, and XRP is in there number 6. And then you have Cardano, ADA, Solana, and you know my thoughts on Solana. I'm not a fan of that, but then it's in there. Dogecoin and Polkadot. And those are the ones that Forbes are listing. But I know that there's probably going to be a lot more coming on board, but there'll never be 20,000 of them or more. There'll never be, do you know what I mean? There's only going to be a few that are going to be in this market. And I'm going to bring you this news here, and this is coming from, and this was out, and I think it bodes well to go back to old stuff sometime. Just to get a handle on what's going forward in terms of this market and how it's going, how it's moving. And this is a little bit skew with today. Sorry guys, but there we are. We got it. Well, we'll try and get it. And this thing is all wrong anyway. But there you are. DTI company e-trading software, which provides market infrastructure for crypto trading, has formed a non-profit organization called the DTI Foundation. And basically what they're doing is they're a regulated body, well not regulated, non-profit, but what they're doing is they working on creation of identification for cryptocurrencies. DTI's digital token identifiers will aim to akin to unique identifiers placed on assets on regular fiat currency-based trading markets like the stock derivatives. This allows regulators and other track assets, identify them, and quantify risk involved in trading. This is a non-profit organization. The DTI organization aims to do the same for crypto market, in which they have been criticized for its volatile nature and role in financial illicit transactions. According to the report by writers, DTI will be registered with the foundation and will use norms for international organization for stabilization of the ISO to be finalized by September this year. It will finally issue identifiers for the 100 most important, I'm bringing this out here, 100 most important crypto assets and tokens, aiming to cover over 80% of the market. This is, of course, will be include top coins like Ethereum, Bitcoin, Ripple, Doge, and more. So listen, this is going ahead. You know, this is coming out. We are not. How can I explain this? The market is, yes, it's volatile. Yes, it's going up and down. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. But we're going into adoption phase. It's not going to happen overnight. Please don't expect that to happen overnight. You'd be mad to expect that to happen overnight. But all this information here is actually saying to you, if you're not researching, if you're not looking at it for yourself, and I'm bringing it to you, do your own research, please, as well. But it's also saying to you, things are moving forward, regardless of what you may think. Regardless, you may think, oh, it's not and it's not moving fast enough. Well, I'm sorry. You know, nothing. It took Rome. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. You know, nothing happens like that. Some people got rich at the beginning of this this journey. Some people are just at the beginning of this journey, in real terms, in terms of the financial infrastructures that are coming in board, all the regulators and all that kind of stuff. Because without regulations, this market will not grow, and we're seeing that happen. Okay. The CFTC, they got their bits coming out. They had something which they talked about, when was this, on the 25th, which was yesterday. And basically, we are here today because the digital assets are trending towards becoming part of the mainstream American portfolios, with surveys and polls demonstrating that as one in every 5 adults have invested in or otherwise use cryptocurrencies. The market has developed in abundance of a firmly regulatory, I can't say that word, democratic regulatory perimeter. Yeah. An aggressive influx of retail participants has further galvanized an industry eager to meet demand products and services. Each digital asset is empowered by the free, largely uncluttered flow of information, the defining characteristics of information age we currently occupy, and relatively low barrier to access. Now I'm going to put all these links in here so you guys can read it for yourself. But this is coming out. These this is from the CFTC. You can't. America's I think it's controlling finance, what they call it. But this is important for you guys to realise and wake up to. These things are going mainstream, whether you like it or not. Okay. So, another bit of news. And this goes back to that again. The DTI Foundation has propagated issue identifiers for the top 100 cryptocurrencies per market. The capitalisation therefore enabled all major cryptocurrencies tracked, including Bitcoin, Ether, Tether, and Ripple's XRP. Right, the e-trading software has launched the tracking of digital assets on a global basis, with services that issue identifiers for tokens based on the new ISO standard. ISO has been selected e-trading software for the registration authority for the standard digital asset token identifier. The new service is completely complementary to the existing ISO standard by tracking counterparties to trade via the legal entity identifier LEI, and was designed by the same committee that has identified ISO standard for unique product identifier, unique UPI, for tracking all OTC derivatives. I think it's over the counter. Right, you guys can go and read this for yourself, but it goes into the G20 enhanced risk management. It goes into a lot of detail here, so I'm not going to read it all. You guys can go and read it. It's important for you guys to know, and that's it. I'm out. Take care of yourself, and don't get scammed. Get regulated. Remember, this space is evolving. You're new. You're still new to this market. And it will change. It will evolve into a much better place than you think it will ever be. And if those are involved in it now, we'll see generational wealth to come for a long, long time. You're going to dig your families out of hellholes. Trust me. Anyway, you take care. Bye.